Hey guys, and welcome back to Movie Files. I'm here to give you guys my review for the movie Hereditary, which has gotten so much buzz out of the festivals. It is being called a classic, and I'm here to give you guys my thoughts, what I thought of the film. So, right off the bat, this is a non-spoilers review. I'm just going to touch on my pros, my negatives, and then give you my final thoughts on the film. So, right off the bat, this movie is directed by first-time director Aster. Stars Toni, Collette, Milly Shapiro, and Wolff. And not giving too much away on the story, you can read it on IMDb, check out the trailers. But I recommend going into this movie as cold and as blind as possible. But without giving too much away, Toni Collette's character mother just recently passed away. She finds out some stuff about her family history and kind of what her mother was involved in. And then, some things kind of occur around Colette's family. So I'll just leave it at that. So first thing I want to start off with is number one, the performances. So for me with horror, I love slasher films, supernatural films, psychological thrillers, things of that nature. But I really love when we get a good performance because it puts you in the position of those characters. And it really just makes you feel immersed and feel like you're in the situation. What would you do in the situation? So the performances given by the three main leads were phenomenal. I'm going to start off from kind of my top three. I'm going to say Milly. This is her first film, and she did a great job. She was very disturbing, very unsettling. You didn't know what she was thinking at times. Just a very interesting character. So I love that young lady's performance. With this being her first film, she really knocked it out of the park. Number two for me is Wolff. I've seen him in plenty of things, most recently in Jumanji, Death Wish on Netflix. He's a really good up-and-coming actor. I love his performance. I almost felt like he was, in a way, the audience. So the things he was seeing that was going around, it was kind of like us while we were watching the movie. So I just loved his performance. Very emotional performance. But my number one, my MVP is by far Toni Collette. I think the first movie I've ever seen her in was The Sixth Sense, and I loved her in everything else I've seen her in. She always gives a great performance, but she is just outstanding in this movie. I compare her performance in a different manner to earlier this year. We got A Quiet Place, which you guys can check out that review on our channel. But how I love how Emily Blunt was like a mother. She wasn't standing for these aliens messing with her family. Toni Collette gives almost, I don't say the opposite performance because she cared for her kids, but she was just in a different mindset. It was such a great performance by Toni Collette. And you guys will see, when you see this movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. She just brought the emotional moments. There were moments where within seconds she's reacting one way and reacting another. It was just a phenomenal performance. I cannot talk enough about these performances. Those were my top three, but Toni Collette was the MVP. Another thing I want to touch on is the sound design was incredible. The editing, the way that they edit the film was beautiful. The camera work was awesome. Toni Collette's character is, she does like miniatures. She makes these miniature homes, which you guys can see in the trailer. And there were shots where you thought you were in a miniature home, but it was actually a shot in the actual frame of the movie. And it was just shot beautifully, handled well. The overall, the structure of this film, the story, again, the sound design, the editing, and performances all came together. Another thing I really want to talk about is the actual story. This is a slow burn. A lot of the A24 movies, this is the A24 film. I'm not the biggest fan of like The Witch, It Comes at Night, because those are slow burns, and I feel like the payoff wasn't really there, really wasn't earned. This film does something I love in these type of horror films where it gives you, it's a slow burn. It's a 2 hour and 10-minute movie or so. It's a slow burn, but it has such a great payoff. And before you get the payoff, there's moments that scaring the hell out of you up to those moments. So I just love how the story was structured. You can relate to this film. There's some family drama going on. It's very appealing. And again, this isn't like a jump scare galore type of horror film. This is a psychological thriller with some very disturbing shots within this film, some things you cannot take out of your head after you've seen it. So I just can't talk enough about the story and the way it was structured. And also, too, this is a horror film, and I want to answer the question, is it scary? Hell yes. I know scary movies are subjective. Everyone has their opinion. Some people love slashers. Some people love torture porn, things of that nature. I'm a big fan of psychological thrillers with an element of supernatural, and this film does that in every sense of the word. Again, I brought up The Witch and It Comes at Night. Respectively, people love them. I'm not the biggest fan of those films, so I feel like they just didn't show you enough, and then the payoff wasn't good. And anyway, this film, Hereditary, not only shows you things, they don't just allude to it, they show you the images that are shown in this film, and the scenes they chose to put in there are very haunting, very terrifying, and they stick with you into the night. Like last night, I went to sleep on it because we saw it yesterday. I went to sleep on it. There were moments where I thought I saw things in the corner that weren't there. I mean, this film really messes with your mind, and I really think that this is a very great horror film with a lot of great elements that we love in these type of films. And also, too, they don't rely on jump scares. They don't rely on different things of that nature to kind of, you know, gimmicks. They really give you a compelling story, and those things that you see are just absolutely terrifying. Now, only thing I can really think of as far as a negative, you've seen this story before as far as what they give you. They're not breaking new ground, but again, I just love how they handle the story. Even though we've seen it many times, I felt like they did a good job of doing that. And there were, and you guys will see in the movie, there's a moment very early on in the movie where something happens and you just wonder how they got to the next place. And I don't want to give too much away, but there's something in the film that happens pretty early on, and I just didn't know how they handled that. It was kind of off screen. But anyway, with that being said, guys, I'm just going to wrap this video up because I don't want to give too much away. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5. This was such a good... If you take away the horror elements, this is still a great family drama with great drama elements to the film. But then when you add in all the haunting, disturbing, terrifying moments in this film, it just makes it a perfect horror film in my opinion. Definitely, right now, A Quiet Place in these two films. We've had a great year with horror so far. I haven't seen Unsane. Truth or Dare, Her wasn't that good. But so far, the two films I've seen in the horror genre, I'm a big horror guy, has been out of the park. Even the stuff on Netflix. I wasn't a fan of The Ritual, but I thought Veronica was pretty good. But anyway, this is the year of horror. We've gotten A Quiet Place, Hereditary, Suspiria later on this year. Halloween trailer came out today, which you guys can check out my reaction on Stardust. But this was a phenomenal horror film. I can't recommend it enough. I can't wait to buy this film to dissect different things that I saw or didn't see in this film, but such a great movie. Can't recommend it enough, guys. 5 out of 5 for me. So with that being said, like, share, comment below. Again, this is non-spoilers. So don't spoil anything for people that haven't seen it. But talk to us on Instagram. We love to have conversations on private messages. So if you've seen the film and want to talk spoilers, definitely message us on Instagram. We're at Movie Files. On Twitter, we're at Movie Files Live. That's all in the description, so follow us there. Some things to keep an eye out for. Coming soon, we'll have our Incredibles 2 review, as well as Jurassic Park after that. So we got some awesome content coming for you to Movie Files. So again, guys, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching this review. Again, 5 out of 5. Love Hereditary. I'll see you guys on the next video.